come back and Mona's talking. Hey, Cucumber. Welcome to another Genshin stream. We are living in a post-Smash Brothers announcement world where Sora is in Smash Brothers. Gonna be honest, it was hard getting back to sleep after that 9 a.m. direct. Not specifically because the mind was racing because of a Smash announcement, but more because I have trouble getting back to sleep when I'm up for an hour. It's just not something I can typically do. So new areas have been unlocked to this Moonlight Secret thing. I'm going to do that off stream. They are pretty grindy tasks. What we're going to do today is going to focus on character quests, which is, I got this one. This is Klee. I guess there's also the event quests. I forgot the event quests. Oops, give me a sec. All right, this one's unlocked. So all the event quests are unlocked. I could just run through them now. Did a few things off stream, not too much. I just avoided Nintendo Directs because there's only ever like 3 things I care about. Let's just find those later. Yeah, sure. I mean, Nintendo Directs aren't for everybody. I don't usually stream them either. Not waiting around for them to announce a Smash character I don't give half a shit about. I know that Sora was basically the top requested character for Smash. According to their... it's not that one. Do I not have that recipe? God damn it. Delicious cream stew. Oh. Have I not made a... Oh, that's what happened. I must have gotten stew as a reward. And I've lost it again. There it is. Hey, cream?
Rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them.
Don't forget to hydrate. Well...
Welcome to Second Life. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Keep forgetting that this item shop is called Second Life. You have cream? You don't have cream. Do I need to make cream? I can start making it now and not worry about it till off stream, but I just need to know what is required. Milk. I only need 2. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, I'm going to do the... Yeah, I'm going to do the event quest. I forgot that that was a thing. Whoops. My basic mentality right now is that I'm not going to progress my world level until I finish all available character quests. Because I don't want to do character quests and then get locked behind like a hard enemy or something like that. It's probably not going to happen, but, you know. Either way, I'm going to do the event first anyway. Oh, right. I guess to catch up, off stream when I was doing some dailies and some side quests, I kept running into areas that activated this mission. So a couple things happened. I went to, I guess I passed by the food place, and she came out and said like, oh, I need to know who can try my food and blah blah blah. And I guess we went to Beidou, and we met the Rockstar girl as well, and they both tried her food and basically called it, I don't know, basic or something like that. They said it could use improvement. Wasn't too much that happened, other than them saying that they have differing tastes with what's her face with the Jade Palace. Need to get back into it, master all the dishes since it took a break for the longest time I've ever did dish mastered. Yeah, you just need to make perfect dishes or whatever, right? Basically get to the point of auto cooking. So now we're looking for somebody's opinion.
Do this too? Hyman's going first. Nothing's happening. Let me try again. That's weird. Does he not want to hang out with us? Oh, wait, so let me get this straight. Some guy with special powers promised you both that you just need to shout his name and he'll show up? Well, not both actually, just one of us.
He promised it to me.
Oh, right. Well, you should be the one to try it then. Paimon clearly just doesn't want to feel left out. Okay then.
Xiao, are you there?
You called?
Wow, that was quick.
Whoa! He actually came!
You spoke my name, did you not?
Didn't think that would actually work.
When I make you a promise, I will honor it.
Blink of an eye and poof! He's there! That's how you know he's an Adeptus. An Adeptus? Xiao, was it? Hi there. It was me who asked the Traveler to call you here. My name's Xiangling. I'm a chef. I've made it into the finals of this year's Masterful Chefs, and I'm testing some dishes out in preparation. I'm trying to get feedback from customers with all different tastes.
Customers. And that includes me?
Uh-huh. The Traveler says you prefer mild food, just the kind of person I'm looking for. If you don't mind, I'd like you to try the dishes I've made and tell me your thoughts.
We value your opinion, Xiao.
Since it's you, I will do it.
Yay! How is it? Are you sure you can eat it? Don't force yourself.
Tastes pretty good.
Huh? Really? I can't believe it. An Adeptus says he likes my cooking.
Yeah, Xiao
If my
likes
dad was
almond
here,
tofu. That's very
I'd cry
basic.
tears of joy.
You excel in the culinary arts. I'm reminded of another chef I know. That chef cooks dishes with soul, as do you. Both of you are masters of your craft.
Who do you think he means? Smiley Yanqiao?
It has to be Yan Xiao.
If I had to find fault with something, the two sides are a little strong for my taste. Some minor adjustments would take this dish from excellence to perfection. Just my own opinion. Do not fixate on it. Take it or leave it as you see fit.
Alright, go easy on the sides. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Adeptus friend. It was really great to meet you.
I'll be leaving now.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Paimon still can't believe he actually came. So, what would happen if we called his name again now? Do you think he'd come back right away?
Paimon, we're not doing that.
Only kinda, maybe, not really joking. Jeez. Good news. After 2 rounds of taste testing, I've had an idea on what to do next.
There's a touching quest later where he tries something different.
Great!
Is it a character quest for him?
People to talk to.
Or is it
I'll
story?
go back and try this out a few times while it's fresh in my mind. Thanks for your help. Oh, and the final is in Yujing Terrace. You better come and watch. Will do. Good luck.
Story. Okay. You'll do great.
You bet.
Next day, 10 to 14. Okay, well. Gonna glide there regardless. Oh, that's not where I meant to teleport. I meant to teleport here. Bit of Yaksha backstory. I've done a tiny bit of the Serenity pot. Tiny bit. Didn't realize things take 14 hours to fucking make anything. Thought I was gonna hit that thing. But it seems like something you just check up on every now and again. I haven't even unlocked, I guess, what is completely available, because I think you need to go to the next region in order to get... to unlock gardening and farming. I think that should be good.
Divination is a... Let's head to the competition venue. It should be starting soon.
Oh, I was in the wrong place.
Ooh, Paimon's so excited!
Might have been part of the Lantern Festival. If it's annual, it's not too far off.
Welcome, everyone, to the Masterful Chef's Final. At the appointment of this organizing committee, I am your host and officiator, Yenfei.
The lawyer. If anybody chokes and dies, they will be punished
Hey, Yenfei!
to the full extent of the law.
This event is brought to you by the Liyue Qixing in collaboration with a number of participating enterprises. The competition is divided into the selections phase and the finals. We saw many contestants from all over Liyue in the selections process, and all of them were outstanding chefs in their own right. Of those, the 2 strongest participants were put through to today's finals. In just a few
Only 2
short
chefs we know.
moments, the finals will take place right here before your very eyes. As the officiator, it is my honor and privilege to represent the organizing committee and indeed the people of Liyue in overseeing today's proceedings. Next, please allow me to introduce the judges. There will be a select panel and an audience panel. The 3 members of the select panel are the Tianquan, Lady Ningguang, the Yuheng, Lady Keqing, and last but not least, gourmet connoisseur, Uncle Tian. In addition to these 3, 10 judges will be chosen from among the audience to sample our contestants' dishes and cast their vote. That makes a total of 13 judges with 13 votes between them. Each judge will vote for their preferred finalist, and the one who receives the most votes will be today's winner. It's all so exciting! And now, please join me in welcoming our 2 contestants into the arena. Come on out! To my left, a competition.
There's car
favorite
revving
down from
outside.
Lihua. Life's harsh when you live on a marsh, but this kitchen ace will put a smile on your face. Please welcome Smiley Yanxiao.
Hi everyone.
Whoa, Yanxiao made it into the finals too. But what's up with him? He seems really nervous.
To be fair, it's a big event.
Yanxiao! Chin up, shoulders back. Everyone from the inn is super proud of you.
Huh? Oh.
And to my right, a stalwart of Liyue Harbor culinary scene, a little feisty with a whole lot of spicy. Give it up for Xiangling! And her mysterious assistant, who knows who? Paimon knows, it's Guoba! Hey everybody, I'll do my best! Contestants, please repeat after me. As a finalist in Masterful Chefs, I solemnly swear to commit myself fully, compete fairly, and abide by all competition procedures. As a finalist in Masterful Chefs, I solemnly swear to commit myself fully, compete fairly, and abide by all competition procedures.
As a finalist in Masterful Chefs, I solemnly swear to commit myself fully, compete fairly, and abide by all competition procedures.
And I, for my part, promise to uphold the principles of fairness, impartiality, and transparency in my officiation of the proceedings. Now, I will hand things over to the select
Whoa,
panel
the
judge,
useless
Ningguang,
sidekick.
for the announcement of today's theme.
Thank you
You
all
face him at
for
enemies and
being
he
here
spits in a
today
crate.
at the Masterful
Yeah.
Chefs Finals. I am the Tianquan Ningguang.
I've noticed that when I tried out Jiangling, I noticed whenever, those kind of things sort of auto aim at things that can be affected by it. Like, for instance, if you're near like a torch or something that can be affected with an element, your character will like auto face it in a lot of cases. Like, for instance, there was one area in the mountain where we were trying to use Kaya to like frost the water, and he kept auto turning around to hit like some fucking some torch behind him or like a thing. And then later on, the same thing happened where we were trying to frost the water, and there was an enemy like 20 meters behind us, and we were kept like facing the other way. We were just going, why is he facing that way? What's going on? Is my controller broken? Like, Woba does the same shit.
The organizers have chosen the theme for today's event, and that theme
He's
is
crying.
of Earth and Waterborne.
Of Earth and Waterborne. Just like the Feast of Bounteous Land. It really captures the spirit of this year's Moon Chase Festival. It's like surf and turf, but the deep and meaningful version.
The rules are simple. The one who receives the most votes wins. Tailor your dishes to the judges' preferences, or win over the audience with your originality. The choice is yours. Well then, I look forward to both of your contributions.
Contestants will have 1 hour of cooking time available and may only use ingredients provided by the organizers in their dishes. I trust this is no problem. Okay, without further ado, let the cooking commence. Begin.
We're just here.
Time to pull out all the stops. Show everyone why you're the best.
Whoop whoop! Go Jiangling!
Traveler, Paimon. Thanks for coming to support me. Don't you worry. I'm gonna make this the best tasting dish I've ever cooked. Light it up.
Oh.
Light it up. First things first. Get the stove on.
Stove. Stove?
Boba, get them. South on
Oh.
the side should be milder, which makes sense to contrast with the main dish. And I guess that's what Xingyan meant. You gotta have on-beats and off-beats. But at the same time, you have to end on a high note. So I think I'll add a little sugar to the crystal shrimp just to bring the flavor.
Make delicious crystal shrimp. Okay. I suppose they gave us what we needed. Oh, more Grinch packed. Portable stoves, too. Oh, I was going to ask about that, because that's something you unlock in Liyue. Is the portable stove reusable, or do you have to craft one every single time?
Triple layered consomme is pretty bland to begin with, and I can't have two sides with the same texture. Luckily, the organizers have provided some very aromatic broth. It's just a little too gentle. Okay, this is where
Oh, I didn't take sugar the last time.
Do the trick.
Whoops. Triple layered consomme. I didn't realize it. I was just going to pick up shit. I didn't realize it was going to, like, say, nope, you're done. Triple layered. Boy, I have trouble finding stuff in this menu. Here it is. They're consumable, but not impossible to have a few extra. Well, I just wonder, because fucking cooking pots are everywhere. So I don't know why you'd spend resources making a portable one.
Jueyun Chili Chicken is the main event. Can't afford to compromise too much here, but maybe some pepper will set it apart without alienating anybody.
Jueyun chicken chili.
Huh? Oh, Yin he doesn't look so good.
What am I going to do?
What?
Whoa, what's this? Hold up. Things are taking an unexpected turn on the Masterful Chef's stage. Xiangling's mysterious assistant appears to be aiding her opponent. Judges, are we going to allow this? We knew in advance that Xiangling would be accompanied by a mysterious assistant, and the judges agreed that the two could be classed as one individual for the purposes of the competition. But what do we say to this?
It's for multiplayer. Sometimes you get to a boss and someone's low on
the
heels.
assistant hasn't done much in the way of assisting.
No competition would be complete without a little drama. All a part of being young. I won't be the old fogey that ruins it for them.
Please allow me to explain to our host. Prior to the competition, the judges reviewed both contestants, and we can comfortably confirm that neither side is participating in a way that contravenes the competition rules. Xiangling is a highly accomplished chef, and her assistant is more like family to her. Xiangling prepares all of her own dishes herself. All that her assistant will do is occasionally provide a fire source. Given Xiangling's level of culinary skill, the difference between her using firewood or her assistant is a trivial one. I appreciate everyone's concerns. The presence of a mysterious assistant performing strange dance moves to cheerlead for Xiangling is a little unexpected. But the mysterious
Is he actually
assistant
helping
has
now?
now
He's
started
just dancing
cheerleading
around.
for Smiley Yenshao too, demonstrating total impartiality. By encouraging both Xiangling and her opponent, they have proven to be a fair supporter.
That's right. Guoba's not really outside help. Guoba just likes to watch people cook. I'm sure the only reason they went over there is to try to help Yenshao feel less nervous. I give you all my word, Guoba will not interfere with the competition. And I would also say that it's a loss to the competition if Yenshao isn't at the top of his form. I say that as someone who's eaten Yenshao's cooking at Wang Shuwen before. He is an excellent chef, and I want this to be a competition between the best we both have to bring.
I see. Most amusing. Uncle Tian, what's your opinion?
Didn't he already give
No
his opinion?
objections. It's an honor and a privilege to see two contestants so dedicated to having a fair and square contest.
Two contestants so dedicated to having a fair and square contest. He sounds like the South Park Rob Schneider is the pickle. Oh, I'm a carrot. I'm Carrot Schneider.
The judges and the officiator accept this explanation. Let the competition continue.
Yenshao, are you alright?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I've never been so nervous in my life. Look, my hands won't stop shaking.
Take it easy. I've been there before. I can help. Try saying a tongue twister to yourself in your head. Or think of some happy memories about your dad.
Why my dad? That's a bit specific.
'Cause that's what I do.
The stapler. Jump to deeper, deeper,
I guess I'll think
down.
of my mom then. Anyway, you should carry on. I'll be fine. Don't hold up your own dishes on my account.
I'm already done.
Nothing's being held up. I'm finished already.
Huh? Oh, right. Then I need to focus up and win this thing.
I used salt in my first fucking dish.
That's the attitude we want.
God damn it.
You're a very
If I
capable
lose because of
champion,
that.
Xiao. So come on, show everyone what you're made of, just like you showed us last time at Wangshu Inn.
Yes. You're right. I can do this. I can do this.
Hopefully he's too
Thank you,
fucked up.
Xiangling. And thanks to your, well, thanks. Time for me to get cooking.
You know what comforts me? Kicking small furry things.
Time. Both contestants have now finished cooking. I would like to invite them to present their dishes to the judges for evaluation. We will proceed in the order that the contestants finished. Xiangling, please describe your dish. My dish is Jiyun chili chicken with sides of triple layered consomme and crystal shrimp. The theme is
Crystal shrimp.
Earth and waterborne, which includes land and sea.
Gonna be a little
In other
salty.
words, land animals, fowl, and seafood are all potential
You
ingredients.
think about my dad?
My main dish, Jiyun chili chicken, is a combination of fowl and chilies.
Yeah, this is
Jiyun
Master Chef.
chilies capture the essence of the mountains where they grow, and fowl is a gift from the heavens. Triple layered consomme also uses fowl, and its other ingredients are ham and bamboo shoots. These are also flavors from the mountains, but they complement and contrast with the chicken dish, fresh instead of spicy, cold instead of hot. The crystal shrimp is made from a combination of rice, shrimp meat, and carrot. A thin, translucent skin wraps diced carrot and a whole shrimp, fresh, crispy, and tender.
And
Shrimps
salty.
are a gift from the ocean. Tightly wrapping them in a skin made from rice makes this dish a blend of land and sea, fresh with a hint of sweetness. It's the perfect note to end this course on. Ooh, a strong delivery there from Xiangling. Let's see what our next contestant Yanxiao has to say.
My dish is Adeptus Temptation with a mint salad and golden shrimp balls. As Xiangling says, earth and water means land and sea. So birds, land animals, and seafood were also the ingredients I incorporated. Adeptus Temptation is a much-loved dish in Liyue, and as chef of Wangshu Inn, I've always been proud to offer this as the signature specialty dish of our menu. It's a complex dish with very particular ingredients: smoked ham, crab, fresh shrimp meat, and matsutake. I chose this as my main dish as a sign of respect toward my profession and to this competition. The mint salad is my first side. Cool and tender with a subtle sweetness, it's a perfect answer to the rich and strong flavors of the Adeptus Temptation. Golden shrimp balls is a time-honored classic loved by everyone. A hearty, wholesome broth, followed up with a shrimp ball. Oh, pure bliss.
Paimon can smell it from all the way over here. It's driving Paimon crazy. Judges, please sample the dishes.
Get Quobo out of there before he fucks it up.
Very impressive. Both contestants' dishes are well considered, expertly made, and truly delicious. I'm gonna have another golden shrimp. I mean, I shall have to sample both contestants' dishes once more before I can reach a verdict.
Now,
Adeptus Temptation is 5 stars. You may be fucked. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, her favorite meal, a 5-star meal.
as her main.
Jesus.
I have to say, that's a bold move. It's also a unique take on Jueyun chili chicken. Although the dish as a whole is served cold, the chili peppers have been stir-fried, so they're still just a little warm on the inside. You get a nice crunch as you bite in. Then you get the spiciness and warmth all coming in together, and then just a hint of that wonderful pepperiness to top it all off. It's quite simply extraordinary.
This Adeptus Temptation is quite exceptional. The triple layer consomme is also a very superlative contribution. Excellent flavor, well balanced between sweet and savory. Yes, the standard is very high.
Judges of the select panel, I will now ask you to consider your votes carefully before writing them down and handing them to me.
Well,
Also, the organizing committee has selected today's audience judges, and they are now evaluating the dishes. Everyone who's been lucky enough to sample today's dishes, please consider and cast your vote independently.
How are we not involved in this? Why didn't they pick us to be judges? Paimon has buckets of passion and oodles of expertise when it comes to food. If they don't want Paimon, it's their loss.
Calm down, Paimon. I'll cook the same dishes for you later.
Yippee! For all the chefs there are in the world, and for all the amazing dishes they can cook, the fact remains that you're the one who treats Paimon the best.
Thank you all for waiting.
I
All
used
votes have
salt
been received
instead
and
of sugar on my
counted.
crystal
Results have been returned to
shrimp
Mingguang.
balls.
I now
Fuck.
invite Mingguang to take the floor and announce the results.
I know
of
what
the
Kutching is gonna
Masterful
vote for.
Chefs
It is my pleasure to announce that the winner of the Masterful Chefs Finals is... by a mere 1 vote margin,
Wow.
Xiangling!
Wow! What? How is it so close?
And Xiao is a great chef too, and she used salt instead of sugar. Did you see?
Well, there it is. I knew it.
It was a close contest, but we have a winner. Liyue Harbor's Xiangling has beaten Dihua Marsh's Yanxiao by just 1 vote. There can only be one winner, but the fact that this was so close shows just how much both of these outstanding chefs managed to impress our judges. Thank you both for your stellar contributions here today. A big thank you to all the audience for being here today, especially those who have come from far and wide. As officiator, I declare the result of this competition to be fair and valid, thus bringing the Masterful Chefs Finals to a close.
Thank you all for coming. Until next time.
Please exit the venue in an orderly fashion, and remember to take all of your personal belongings with you.
Come on, let's go over and take a look.
What was that look for?
Looks like I won this time, Yanxiao. But I'd still like to try your dishes, if that's okay.
Sure, I'll have a try of yours too. Truly exquisite. No doubt in my mind why you're the winner here.
This Adeptus Temptation is really good. It's so fresh, I'm almost moved to tears.
Well, just goes to show that you have a taste for the finer things in life.
No, you've got me all wrong. We're just a small neighborhood restaurant too, so I totally understand. Food is life, and customers are at the heart of all food culture. So humble food cooking is not to be looked down upon.
Humble home cooking.
Is that right? Huh. I'd heard you'd gotten famous for your experimental approach to cooking and were all about fancy and exclusive foods. Never realized you'd done your time in a small kitchen too. Well, there you have it. All the greats come from the smaller places.
The same goes for you. You can't work in an inn kitchen unless you know how to consistently please customers. It's no wonder your food is so top-notch.
You're the kind of competition I'm glad to have. Let's stay in touch. Maybe we can find some time in the future to trade tips.
You got it. And next time we meet as competitors...
Boy, I sure hope nobody's hungry while watching this.
All right, deal.
I haven't eaten today.
Traveler, Paimon, thanks for coming.
Yeah, definitely have a big meal after this stream.
Don't even go there. Paimon's still peeved.
I can't believe it. You didn't get picked? Well, never mind. Don't get mad. I'll make some more for you when we get back.
You will? Woohoo! Great!
Oh, the organizer said that Yanxiao and I need to go register our delivery addresses. Apparently, they're gonna deliver an exclusive ingredients package and the prize money at a later date. So I need to get moving. I'll come find you guys after.
Xiangling seems really happy. Good for her. Looks like Kuching and Ningguang left already. As the organizers, they must have gone to wrap up some last-minute things.
Let's go ask them for an update about the statue.
Nearly lunchtime for me. It's 7 p.m. for me. 7:18. Let me get these. So I used a bunch of these silk flowers, not realizing I was crafting like material for the home building thing, and I didn't realize that one of these flowers makes 10 cloths. I thought it was like 1-to-1, and I made way too much cloth. I made like 500 cloth. Whoops. Anyway, looking for catching. $11.18 in Australia. Yeah, at least you can get a lot of them every couple days you come back. Yeah, at the very least.
Kuching, there you are.
Did you vote for the shrimp?
Oh, you found me.
Huh? Is everything okay?
Something is weighing on Kaching's mind. Did she vote for Zhang Ling?
I have found myself in something of a predicament.
She voted for Zhang Ling instead of the food she liked?
In the competition, I
Oh.
voted for Smiley Yenshao.
Oh, she feels bad about
So you're
that.
frustrated because you can't go back and vote for Xiangling instead?
No, that's not it. As a judge, I had a duty to remain objective. I made my decision after thinking about it very carefully, and my conscience is clear. Xiangling is my friend, so by rights, I should be honest with her about this. But, as you know, I voted based purely on my personal opinion. As a contestant, Xiangling may not be able to appreciate this, and I do not know how to deal with people of her temperament. I just don't know how to break it to her.
Aw, it's no big deal. Just say it however comes naturally. Xiangling of all people isn't bothered about that kind of stuff. And anyway, she still won in the end. Oh hey, here you are. I've been looking for you for ages.
Xiangling, there's something I need to tell you.
What is it?
My grandfather always said to me, in contests of food, always follow your heart. Which is to say that in gastronomical disputes, or indeed competitions, one must cast their vote for the party that they agree with. This decision must be based on one's honest thoughts, not influenced by any external factors. Of course, that was just my grandfather's opinion, but I have to say, I am inclined to think he had a point. So, despite the fact that I am your friend, I cast my vote for Smiley Yenshao's Adeptus Temptation.
Oh, she went for that dish. I think you mean the golden shrimp balls.
Well, maybe it was. I like golden shrimp balls. Is that a problem?
Shutting up.
You were acting so serious that I honestly thought something was up. It's fine. Doesn't bother me one bit.
Huh?
You voted for who you wanted to, and that's totally okay. In fact, that's exactly how it should be. Otherwise, how could it be a fair competition? So, you made a point of telling me. Is that because you were worried that it made you a bad friend?
Don't be absurd.
Didn't I say already? I love this about you. You're just so conscientious about everything. Half-baked feedback just isn't meaningful to me at this stage. Seeking reassurance is what novices do, and it's been a long time since I was a novice. The way forward from today will only get more challenging, as will the dishes I'll need to cook. Honestly, I'll need friends like you along the way.
Yeah, I got the MRE thing now too. I have the sweet chicken, whatever it's called. Whatever is just like sweet flour and fowl. That's like an easy one to make, and I have a ton of them.
You have a strong sense of responsibility, Kuching. But you know, not everything is always about responsibility. Yes, you're a Qixing, but you're also
Sweet Madame, yeah, that's it.
Kuching. When you're with friends, you don't need to think about everything so thoroughly. You know that's what Ningguang's like, right? Beto's always telling me about how well she gets along with Ningguang. They even play chess aboard her ship sometimes. So you see, Ningguang's kind of bold in that she doesn't let her identity and reputation get in the way of her ability to have a good time. You could take a leaf out of her book. Outside of work, it's time to let go and relax.
Xiangling is right on the money.
Traveler. Shunling, anyway, what are we standing around here for? Let's go and check on the status of the Stove God statue.
Oh yeah! Paimon had nearly forgotten about that. Let's go see.
Actually, I know I made shrimp balls. How much do they heal for? Maybe I haven't made any. Not recently. Sorry, I have to keep muting every now and again. I just got something. Oh my god, a giant rock!
Strange. It hasn't changed one bit. This doesn't make any sense. We cooked our hearts out. Does this mean the competition wasn't enough to awaken the statue?
You blew it.
Oh well. I suppose it was simply not meant to be.
Still time. Don't lose hope.
Yeah, we've waited this long already. There's no harm in waiting a little longer. Right, Xiangling? Yup, there's still time. Let's be patient. We'll all see this through together. On another note, I have some good news for you, Kuching. Things are looking optimistic for that recipe you gave me. Master came by before the competition and filled in the parts that were missing. So now I'll be able to cook it. In fact, I'll go find somewhere to make it right now. Wait here.
Shunling.
Oh, and Traveler, could you come with me? Huh? You only just beat Smiley and Shell. You think you're up for challenging us already?
Alright, time for me to get real. I'm something of a kitchen god myself.
Obviously not what I meant. You collect recipes, don't you? I thought you'd probably be needing this dish during your travels, so
Oh.
I figured I'd share it with you.
Nice.
Oh, right! Paimon knew that. Sheesh, we totally misread that situation.
Who am I kidding? Zhongling's the real kitchen queen.
Jeez, careful eating your words so fast, you'll give yourself heartburn.
What are you staring at me for? Go on, go get on with your cooking.
Gay. Gay. Okay, let's see. We got new recipe. I just fell in the water. Here it is. Chili mince cornbread buns. Sounds pretty good, actually. Oh, ba-ba. Just had a lot of ingredients from sending units out on expedition, so I spammed the scrimps for the weekly 20 foods, and it happened to be decent heals. I'm actually curious now, because I know there's better heals than the Sweet Madame, but it's just so damn easy. I think I had a ton of those ingredients as well. Yeah, look, I could make... Let's see here. I can make like 80 more if I wanted to. Shrimp balls, shrimp balls, shrimp balls. I'm like looking for them visually instead of... Oh, it's a revive. Oh, yeah, I got shrimp balls on mine as well. For my revive. I forgot about that. It's a revival thing. Yeah. I think I have that as a quick as well. As far as like healing goes, Sweet Madame is like, what, 20 to 24 max HP, and then 1500 hit points as well. Oh, this is comparable, huh? But yeah, I don't have nearly as many mushrooms as I do these ingredients. That's the difference, I guess. This is really good, but it takes a lot of fucking ingredients. Same with this. This fucking jam is so intensive for ingredients. This is good too, but it needs butter, which takes time to process. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but the sweet madame is just like really, really easy to make with all the ingredients you pick up through the travels. I wish mint jelly was better, but then sugar is really fucking intensive, so never mind that. Oh. Cream is done. There we go. I need to make 2 of these, I think? Or I need to make just 1. May make a special dish. I actually don't want that. Because I need specifically cream stew. Okay. Let's see here. I think I needed to do it for Trail of Delicacies. Cold cut platter. Get out of here. It's also interesting that the only pizza I see in this game so far is mushroom. Yuck. And then also, it's a regen one. Cook-up platter was a pain to master when I got it because I couldn't send people out to get meat. Why am I not seeing it here? Man, this screen specifically, I have trouble finding shit. Do I not have the recipe? Let me double check the name again. Delicious. No, it's just called cold cut platter. You have to attain the core priority. Yeah, please cook it first. I don't think I have it. I don't have it. It's a 3-star. I can't remember where you get it. Well, yep, don't have it.
Skills are getting better and better still.
I suppose I could just offer up the delicacies now, though. Yeah, if I won 20,000 more, I'll make that last one. I have till the end of the event. I'm gonna do that challenge off stream, though, as well as finding all the fucking little thingies in this area. Which, before I forget, because I don't know if I'm gonna do this tonight, but I'm going to... CC! I need to talk to the lady over here to give me a hints on where that shit is. Because I found all the treasures in the other places, so it's just Dragonspire now. And thank you for the help. There's a lot of stuff there. God damn, that's not going to be fun. You get a complete Eagle Gate domain. Eagle's Gate domain. Did I not do that? Oh boy, I have no idea where that is. It's a mansion. In Mondstadt. Valley of Remembrance. Forsaken Rift. Temple of the Falcon. Summer Courtyard. Oh, you know what? It's this one. Explore Fallen Fortress. Have I not done that? Well, there it is. Well, that'll be easy enough to do. I guess I haven't done it. I've teleported there so many times in order to do this fucking boss. The Electro Hypostasis. I was like, that name sounds familiar. I've definitely been there. Okay, what's next?
Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed.
Oh, I need to make the cornbread buns.
It can only...
A key from there is useful, can unlock one of those locked things. Yeah, I've gotten a few of those and unlocked those pavilion things. I think yeah, I've got 2 more of those. I just haven't really looked around for them. Chili mince cornbread buns. I have not used in earnest any buff stuff. Like stuff that buffs attack or defense.
It's done! So this is what the dish from the recipe looks like. Let's go give it to cooking.
Nope. There's one near the Animo Hypostasis, I think. I might have gotten that one. I'm honestly gonna need to, like, look up a map for that stuff. I haven't even gone out of my way to look for Animoculus or Geoculus. I've just sort of gotten what's been in front of me. But I'm one upgrade away from doing the 9 pillars thing. I think I just need to get like I need to get 24 more Geoculus, and then I'll be able to finish the 9 pillar thing. We're back.
The Traveler and I made one each. Here, have a taste while it's still warm.
Thank you. Don't mind if I do.
What is it? What does that face mean?
This flavor... I've tasted it before.
Kaching?
Apologies. Xiangling, Traveler, thank you both. This is everything I had hoped it would be. It tastes wonderful, and quite amazingly, somehow it took me right back to my childhood, when my grandfather was still around.
There's enough Animoculus and Geoculus to have 1 or 2 left over of each. Well, that's good. So you can miss 1 or 2.
Really? That's awesome! I didn't have a chance to fully explain before. In fact, when Master had filled in the missing parts of the recipe for me, I realized that I already knew how to make this dish. You already knew? You mean you were able to make this without ever seeing the recipe? Uh-huh. My dad taught me how to make it. Wait, but isn't this dish from Kuching's grandpa's notes, though?
About that. I do not believe that this recipe was my grandfather's creation.
Oops.
My grandfather was a well-known real estate tycoon in Liyue, and also a scholar. He was an avid collector of old books and was quite knowledgeable on many of Liyue's customs and traditions that are no longer practiced. As a child, I used to spend a lot of time with him in his study. We'd read the classics together, then debate how much of it was actually genuine, and whether Rex Lapis was real or not. He used to say, books are just a bridge that bring us a little closer to history. It's up to those of us in later generations to ask these questions, search for the answers, and decide what they mean. Since then, my grandfather has passed on, and I've grown up to become a Qixing. My views on Rex Lapis have changed in this time too, from myth to reality. For me, The name Rex Lapis is inextricably wound up with memories of my grandfather. Whenever I see his name written down, it always reminds me of sitting in my grandfather's study, seeing all of his notes. As I said earlier, this recipe came from those same notes. It's an ancient dish that he was trying to restore to its original form. But, unfortunately, without the full recipe, he never quite succeeded. Still, each time he tried cooking it, he'd always get me to have a taste while it was still warm. The memories. This really is the taste of my childhood.
Ancient dish? Are cornbread buns really that old? Well, at least in my family it is. My dad learned how to make it from his dad, and supposedly it's been passed down that way for generations. We call them chili mince cornbread buns. They're a traditional folk food snack, easy to pack up and take with you on the road, so they're the perfect thing to eat on the go. La la la.
Blah, blah, blah.
Seeing Guoba just reminded me of something. I actually made this dish on the day I first met Guoba.
How did you first meet?
It was in a cave in the mountains. I ducked inside to get out of the rain and saw an offering table in there, so I put the cornbread buns I'd brought with me on it. Then I ended up falling asleep, and when I woke up, I found out that Guoba had eaten every last one. Guoba followed me around ever since. We're practically family now. Hold up! Stop the conversation! Look! The stone! Burst open!
Oh,
It's...
is that Guoba?
Guoba? What are you... What? Lala?
Ah, I see the chili mince cornbread buns have been served.
Master! Granny, look! The stone god statue looks just like Guoba!
Oh, indeed it does. After all, Guoba is the deity you've been searching
Of course.
for. God of the stove.
Uh-huh.
Guoba is a god?
To fool me.
You asked me if a sufficiently festive atmosphere would be enough to reawaken the stove god. And my answer is this. Yes. And no. The stove god has always been a deity with great affection for the people, and who acts in response to their desires. To him, the heart's passions and the heart's desires are not the same thing. Passion can be a technique, a skill, something derived from experience. But desires, they are deeper, more innate. They are the heart's strength in its purest form. Masterful chefs is wonderfully exciting, but it is more an exercise of passion than of desire.
They call it masterful
And
chefs
passion
instead of
alone
master
will not
chefs.
suffice to reawaken the stove god from his deep slumber. But just now, when Kuching ate this dish she had longed for, a deeply held desire was fulfilled. As well as receiving an answer to her question, she also gained something much more precious. A moment of poignant nostalgia so vivid, it felt like she was right there alongside her grandfather. The enormous power unleashed by the fulfillment of this desire resonated with the stove god's statue, and caused it to manifest once more the form it took in the past. Of course, the stove god himself is not contained within the statue. The true stove god has been here with us all along.
Yeah, distracting us in the background.
How does it feel, seeing a statue of yourself from your glory days? Ah, look at him. Still so majestic.
Glory days? Wait, what happened? Did Guoba used to be different from now?
Oh, yes. Back in his day, your Guoba was once the patron god of the soil. But all the wisdom and power he had then, he has since surrendered to the soil itself.
Oh, so he's dumb and weak.
Gods surrendering their power to the soil. I have heard this turn of phrase before, but what does it mean?
The kinds of trials and tribulations that a land can face are far more than you could imagine. Droughts, floods, torrential rain, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, and plagues.
Oh, so 2021. Boy, it must be nice to live in a world where it's not caused by humanity. And a god can fix it by offering up his power.
The threat of disaster will never fully disappear from Liyue. Even woes that have never been faced before in history will come to pass in the future. Such things affect you mortals far more than we Adepti, with our immortal forms. He once walked with you over the barren plains until you arrived at last at the harbor. He joined you in building your dwellings and lighting the stoves. It was his hand that lit the very first street lamp of Liyue and brought the aroma of cooked food into every household in the land. You mortals no longer remember him, but back in the age when you did, he was the closest of all the Adepti to the common folk.
Oh.
Marchosius, god of the stove, born from a spark when stone struck stone. He was a god with a great love for humanity and their well-being.
Mighty am I!
Millennia ago, the people sought to expand their city. They built a dwelling on the plains and called it the Gweli Assembly. The Stove God cared greatly for the people, turning himself into minions who went into every home, fostering food and solidarity alike. Alas, their home was taken by a flood. The waters ravaged the Gweli Assembly and forced the people back south to Liyue Harbor. Though the distance was not far, the journey was plagued by a terrible storm. For a dozen days, the Adepti stayed by their side. During this time, the Stove God cooked an ancient delicacy, flatbread with a meat sauce to stave off the cold and damp, fit for those on the move. Centuries later, disaster and plague arose once more. The Stove God would appear no longer, for he placed all of his power into the land itself to quell the calamities. His power expended, and his wits greatly reduced. Thus his body decreased in size. By the time he parted ways with us, he wasn't even the height of a human. He told Rex Lapis and I of the dishes that bring joy and of the secrets of the flame, then went into the mountains and entered
Animation.
into a long slumber. The Stove God departed, and Guoba was born. When he awoke, he ate the chili mince cornbread buns placed on the offering table by a young lady in yellow. Though he did not remember the past, he was profoundly moved and decided to follow this young lady thereafter. The Stove God had quietly disappeared, but the vendors rose early to hawk their wares. People went out to buy goods, lit their stoves, and cooked food, just as they had done every day for as long as they could remember. In Liyue, things have always been this way.
Things have always been this Liyue.
Nature provides, the mountains rejoice. We are blessed by heaven's good grace.
Years have gone by. The world has transformed, but our way of life survives.
Fame and fortune is only a season. It is the moment that we should embrace.
Past meets present. Heritage becomes legacy. Long into the future may we thrive.
You once told me that dining is the profoundest of customs in the human world. To eat well is to consume vitality itself, and to drink well is to partake of the very essence of the world. It is a matter of paramount importance, you said, for people cannot face the arduous journey ahead on an empty stomach. At once a humble affair and a profound one. A humble meal of maize and spring water is also profound in that. By ensuring one's survival, it paves the way for millennia of human history and culture to come. My dear friend, Liyue has changed so much while you have slept. Looking at the prosperity and beauty around us today, does it make you happy?
Guoba, this is kind of a huge deal. Why didn't you say anything?
I can't remember.
He is not who he once was. Even the power of speech evades him now. There is no way he could have told you.
Oh.
Guoba, but...
Xiangling.
Do not be saddened, Xiangling. There are two sides to everything. Guoba may have lost many of his formal faculties, but he is now as carefree as can be, without a single worry in the whole world. In this world we inhabit, who can truly be said to live a life free of all woes? Those with a mind and with the knowledge will certainly be troubled by all manner of things. But he has gone further than us in his journey. He had both wisdom and courage. Everything he took upon himself, he was also ready to part with. His carefree demeanor today is a testament to the fact that he is at rest. So since you are his friend, take good care of him. Go out to walk and play. Allow him to eat, drink, and be merry.
I will! You can count on me!
Xiangling, you have an adeptal affinity. Guoba follows you around because he has respect for you. The moment he awoke, he was met with the familiar flavor in the chili mince cornbread buns he ate. After all that time, he still recognized the dish he had invented, and he approved of you as the one who had cooked it.
That's right. The taste of one's home cuisine always brings back memories of home. Though he remembered nothing, eating the food you had cooked gave him a feeling of familiarity. That is why he stuck by you.
You may be the first person in history to give the Stove God the experience of being a satisfied customer. That makes you quite a remarkable chef.
I love Zhangling's cooking too.
If that's true, I couldn't be happier. Because putting a smile on customers' faces is what we chefs are called to do.
Well then, it's getting late and I still have things to do. Time for me to say goodbye. Traveler, Paimon, Xiangling, thank you all very much. I look forward to spending more time together in the future.
Sounds good. We'll be waiting for you to show up in a poll or something.
I guess my dad's probably heard the good news already, but I should still go catch up with him. Master, it's been a while since you came by. Why don't you join me? He thinks about you all the time, you know. He's always telling me to invite you over.
Oh, goodness me. Then, far be it from me to refuse. Off we go then. Let's saunter over gently and see how all the city folk are getting along.
Oh boy, man, these cutscenes are long. And when the story comes around, it's just fucking like, it's Metal Gear up in here. And then you have like a tiny bit of agency and then back to 30-minute cutscene. Here we go.
Hi, Dad. I'm back. Hey, what are you doing there? I should be the one handling that. Oh no! Guoba's taken off!
Look who it is.
Oh,
it's you. Hello there, old friend.
Oh, bless my soul. Are you out for a stroll as well?
Given the season, it felt fitting to take a leisurely walk while the meal is being prepared.
Quite right. And it also gave us the chance to run into you. Guoba may not recognize you, but as ever, he seems quite delighted to see you.
So, Guoba doesn't remember anything, but can still feel when something's familiar?
Friendship will always withstand the ravages of time. Traveler, what do you think of the name of this festival? Moon Chase.
Evocative and seasonal.
The moon is a carrier of countless emotions. So many things only seem to surface as we gaze up beneath its poignant glow. Wherever the moonlight shines, the heart is wont to follow. Fond memories of those no longer with us. Debts of gratitude to old friends. The meaning of ages past and gone. All wrapped up in the city that has existed for so many moons to date. All these things and more. They are why people chase the moon.
We go to the moon and do the other
The sight
things.
of many things puts one in a wistful mood. But children are always a beautiful sight to see. Such exuberant life force. It seems to well up from deep within the land itself. A land that has been in existence for so many millennia, and yet one that still dazzles today.
Perhaps that is what defines Liyue.
Traveler, this Moon Chase Festival has been all the more entertaining with you here to witness it. Now, let's have Xiangling brew us a nice pot of tea. We shall drink and chat at our leisure.
3 to get ready, and here we go! That's just plain stupid. Hold up. Interesting. That's it, huh? I guess I can start this one. This is the one where you, wow, 60 Primo Gems. How lucky am I? Oh, whoa, that's way far away. Holy shit. Definitely hit map. My god. So now there's this mission or set of quests that have to do with the bird, Cloud Chaser. Ah, yes. I almost did this quest on accident off stream. Hey. Cloud Retainer. Perhaps this path is best. Ah, Traveler, fine timing. Only recently has one finished setting this device up. So this is the Supreme Cuisine Machine? Verily. Much personal work is one put into it, and its faculties are vast. You're gonna get your dailies later? You might want to stock up on your... want to up your stock of Primo Gems. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I do the dailies. Oh boy. I do those off stream because they are very, very samey. Sometimes they're a little different, but they're mostly like, cook this for me, or defeat some enemies. It's very basic. Every once in a while there's something interesting, but it's not enough to count on for a stream. They're quick but repetitive, yeah. How hasty of you. Be at ease, and let one explain it to you. Much lore did one read in the construction of this cuisine-making machine. Know that there are a few key points in the art of making food. The first of these is finding ingredients, which are of utmost importance in cooking. Many long years of countless chefs labored and wandered in search of all manner of ingredients. One's device aims to solve the issue first of all. Upon activation, it will automatically search for suitable ingredients nearby and will mark they're sent out. All the better for chefs to track them to their source. Can it go grab the ingredients by itself? This is early days yet, would one call this stage of work. And this issue of how a stove may trek across treacherous mountain roads by itself has yet to be resolved. Now then, second matter is the cooking itself. One has placed countless intricate components in this device's interior, such that the mere act of placing ingredients within will see them automatically processed. How does it know how to do that? Well, naturally, it references the corresponding recipe and determining how the ingredients are to be processed. Its inner working are difficult to explain in a short time. You only need to know that resolving this matter took quite some work. Much thought has this one also been to an affair most troubling for chefs, the cleaning of one cooking utensils. Quite a spoilage of a lovely scene of feasting it would be to have it clean up leftovers in the pot otherwise, no? Is this device for sale? Why did you make this device? One's motive? Why, to explore the arts of mechanisms and engineering, naturally. And of course, one's cooking will this render more convenient in the future. Alright, we have spoken idly long enough. Even as one was constructing this machine, one was also studying recipes. Recipes too, therefore, has one developed alongside such that this... oh boy, there's the way this person talks. Such that this supreme cuisine machine may face suitable trials. One invited you here to lend a little aid in gathering ingredients and following said recipes to make some dishes. The first of these one's named the Onsidum Tofu. This dish requires tofu to be diced in tiny threads, a fair trial for this machine's knife work. As to what the ingredients are, one shall require tofu, ham, bamboo shoots, and fowl. One has already asked Ganyu to prepare those ingredients, and they should be... What? Where have the bamboo shoots gone? Well, surely did one place them here? Did some villains take advantage to one's engrossed state to steal them away? No matter. This is a good opportunity to show you the ingredient-finding faculties of one Supreme Cuisine Machine. Supreme Cuisine Machine, activate! Traveler, the machine has been activated. Follow the tracks it's created and reclaim the one's bamboo shoots. It's these white wafts, right? Follow the aura trail and find the ingredients. Man, this trail sucks ass. Oh, there it is down there. Okay. Man, I lost sight of it completely. You obtained the ingredients swallowed by the Animo slimes. I suppose I did. Sure, 'twould be nice if I could have an air current to lift me up to where I was just a moment ago. Wasn't there an air current? Ah, there it is. Uh-oh. Huh. Nope, not there yet. There we go. Well, we found that glitch on the way back up. I found your fucking bamboo shoots that I could have just given you some of my own. Have the bamboo shoots been reclaimed? Oh, it's a quest item. Gotcha. Gotta go for now. Leave it in lurk mode. No problem. Have a good one. Good, good. These bamboo shoots are the... These are the bamboo shoots that Ganyu prepared for oneself. The ingredients have all been prepared. Let us make ready to cook. Take note of the Supreme Cuisine Machine's temperature at all times while using to make gourmet dishes. If the temperature of the device is too high or too low, the temperature meter will run either red or green. If it remains in over or underheated state for a few seconds, your current cooking process will fail. Maintain a normal temperature at all times and complete culinary masterpiece with care. 2 pedals on the ground in front of the device. Alright, that controls the temperature. Machine's temperature will increase when it's exposed to pyro. Conversely, hydro and cryo will decrease its temperature. Manipulate elements to cook more efficiently. Okay, well, give me hydro and pyro. Guess I'll switch to my one ranged pyro character. Can't this machine do it by itself? However, the heat control is just to attend to. Well, one has tried several times to use an internal flame in an attempt to achieve autonomous heat control. But the flame on the Supreme Cuisine Machine stove is far from ordinary. One must use one's own adeptal flame to operate it. Adeptal flames of such power would warp the shape of the internal components if fed directly into the machine's interior. Sacrificing the larger machine for some small gain is thus unwise. Best solution at present is to apply adeptal flames externally. As such, one requires a helper to control the heat of said flames. The all-important flame shall be yours to command, traveler. When you're ready, inform one at once. I'm ready. Then let us begin. Supreme Cuisine Machine, activate! Yeah, try it again, I suppose. Why are you so fucking cold or hot? Oh, it moves the... I'm dumb. I thought it was just controlling the general temperature. It's moving the flame from left to right. Alright, one more time. I now understand. Hey, get off of that.
Delve into destiny.
Fucking, I stepped on the button. Do what I say. Christ.
Shadows of fate.
This machine fucking sucks, Cloud Retainer. This requires more work than regular cooking. How is it? The Oncidium pudding complete? Yeah. Insufficient piping hot. Oh. Okay, there it is. Very good. Verily do the capabilities of this machine exceed the norm. No, they suck. They suck hard. The fine control exercised in processing this tofu, indeed, one has outdone oneself. This is thanks to your aid as well, traveler. Allow one to bestow a copy of the Oncidium tofu recipe upon you. You may attempt to make it again, should time allow. Further adjustments must one make to this machine's faculties. One might still need your help. One trusts that you will not decline, yes? Contrived cooking course, definitely. Let's see here. Just got a new recipe. Oncidium tofu. Well. Oh, this is far away. Mondstadt. This is not the stream to be watching if you're hungry. So I guess in like on the 13th, Alloy from Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be added to other platforms outside of PS4, PS5. So that should be interesting. Apparently she's really good DPS-wise around Razor's level. And can also sneak up on animals, like birds and boars and whatnot. One wonders if this device may make desserts also. What are you making this time? Impeccable timing, traveler. One just finished ruminating on the making of the next dish, a pudding, so it is named. Much consultation did one have with the most recent and popular recipes before deciding on this dish. It is said to be soft and tasty, a fine dessert indeed. Changes and improvements, too, has one made to it, along with the addition of rice. Naturally, one's entitlement is to name this new dish a rice pudding. Shall its name be? Sounds really filling. The quality of the rice is key to this dish. Upon one's activation of the supreme cuisine machine, one did to search for high-quality rice. The resulting search led one here. Well now, traveler, since you are presently here, will you help one collect some rice from fine stock? Machine indicates that it may be found not far from here. Can't you fly? This device needs tending, and one cannot be in two places at once. Skilled you are in mind and hand, and thus an invaluable helper. Go forth to one's aid, and one promises that you shall have a share in the rice pudding also. Well then, one presumes upon your aid. Supreme Cuisine Machine, activate. Traveler 1 has now activated the machine. Follow the tracks. Find the rice. Here we go. Good thing these air currents are here. Thank you saved my life. I'm Brun, a merchant. Just my luck, I was originally transporting a batch of cargo, but I never expected to get attacked by monsters while I was on my way. I just kept running. I didn't have time to worry about the goods or to tell which way I was going. Eventually I ended up here. After I got here, though, I had completely shaken them off. I thought I'd completely shaken them off. That's why I wanted to get that out of my cart and check the goods. But they suddenly came out of nowhere. Thank goodness for your help. What kind of goods are you transporting? Transporting a batch of ingredients, rice and stuff like that. Looks like this is the rice that the Adeptus wanted us to find, but it doesn't look like there's much left. You want to buy rice? It's not that I don't want to sell it, it's just that I basically lost all the goods in my cart on the road when I was running away. Those monsters just must have brought the goods as loot back to their camp. What a headache. How can I get those goods back? If I can't get them back, I'll lose a lot of money. Traveler, I see that you're very skilled. Can you help me get those goods back? If you're willing to help me, I will give you as much rice as you want. I don't think I can carry so many goods. Don't worry, I have a solution. Bring my transport balloon along and place the goods on it. I'll leave it to you, Traveler. I'll be waiting here. After you get the goods, please bring them back to me. Escort mission. My favorite. This is why I didn't level the world up. I didn't want to fucking deal with this shit. You kidding me?
Delve into destiny.
Alright, I have a fish. Razor now. This is weapon. It's really good. Sir?
Let me scry. Delve into destiny.
We're good. Stop doing things! You too! Is that not what I'm supposed to be doing? What's going on? Is this thing in the way? Oh. Goodness. Sure hope it wasn't in those pots.
Let me scribe.
That's fair.
Dodge this.
This should be the goods we're looking for. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Good thing we got that transport balloon with us, huh? Come on, let's move this cargo back. Oh, good. I don't have to go back. Did you bring the goods back? Thank you so much, traveler. You wanted rice, right? Well, please wait a moment. I will pick rice of better quality for you. There, this rice is for you. It should be enough. Thank you, traveler. I should be on my way now. I hope I don't meet any more monsters. Spawn the pots in. There they are. Ah, I needed fowl. For my sweet madame. Kia! Oh, right, Adeptus. Traveler, you have secured the requisite rice? It's right here. Indeed, this is most fine, such the quality that one needs. Since the ingredients are readied, one shall now activate the machine. As before, in your hands shall one leave the heat control, traveler. One would have you report your readiness once you are sufficiently prepared. Yeah, let me go to my bullshit party. Yeah, let's do it. Let's begin. Supreme Cuisine Machine activate! When I step on the thing, I want you to fucking do it. Christ. On a cross. Wow, am I not heavy enough? Oh, now I gotta worry about enemies? Fuck this shit. Oh boy. Oops. Wrong way? Christ, move over. Boy, these buttons could be done better. Is it complete? Yeah, somehow. Palpatine's complete. A lovely flavor indeed. No less would one expect of oneself, or one's own supreme cuisine machine. Haha! How can this machine seemingly do everything? Cunning one's hands are, and no less should be expected of one's hands crafted masterwork. Let me read that back. Cunning one's hands are, and no less should be expected of one's hands crafted masterwork. Hardly a cause for alarm, one would say. Your hand in this matter was mighty also, traveler. Come, prepared one has your recipe as promised. What then shall one cook next, Ah, boy.
Go, Barret Bunny!
Come a little closer. Blitz.
Not my main party, not doing the damage I'm used to. Now, where are we going? Where are we dropping? Fucking god damn it. I hate this place.
Delved into
Don't be a killjoy. Looks like I went too far.
Not far enough. He punched once. Oh, at least there's fucking torches around. Cool. I'm sure I won't put them out with my water powers. Hello. These azure trees stand tall amid the snowy scene. The land is lonely and tranquil. Verily, does one's third dish suit this atmosphere. What kind of dish are you going to make this time? Well, have you ever heard of a method known as braising? This technique did one discover upon reading through some culinary tomes. A fancy did one take to it, and thus created a new recipe. Braised meat, with this culinary technique as its heart. Now, this dish is hardly too tall a task for one's supreme cuisine machine, but meat is key to this dish, and none but the best shall one have. Thus did one activate a mechanism and pursue the scent of fine ingredients to this place. Snow and wind drive hard here, and makes for slow work. One is aware, traveler, of your wealth of adventuring experience, surely, then a mere snowy mountain will prove no obstacle to you. One thus requests that you go forthwith, and retrieve some ingredients once more. Too cold to fly, are we? Nonsense! How daring of you to gainsay one's adeptal might! One is merely occupied preparing these devices. Depart now, one grows impatient. The mechanism has come to a halt. 'Tis must be the biting cold. Allow one to restart it. Supreme cuisine machine, activate! This should resolve the issue. Now then, now then, traveler, pursue the scent one has put you on and retrieve those ingredients. Could it be cold meat? Oh, I thought it was one of those money things, not just a random fucking creature. Now I feel bad. Where is this shit taking me? This way. Wonder if those fellas over there have meat. Seems to be. Fuck it. Obviously, I need a fire user in the party.
Outrider Amber, reporting.
I just wish I had, like, Diluc or Hu Tao, so I could have a competent fire user that's not a bow user. She's good for puzzles. Should I need to get near shit? Yeah.
I'll race you there. Told you I'd win.
Doesn't seem right. How are we supposed to unlock this mechanism? Oh, it's an order. Okay. Right, now this one. Doors opening.
Shadows of fate.
Now fuck off. Definitely have been here before, but I will take artifacts. Speaking of which, yeah. It's almost level 10, and I won't worry about it for a while. God, getting stuck on a slight stone with Mona's sprint sucks. Like, what was I getting stuck on here? There's nothing. I wish your sprint was a little more accepting of what you could sprint across. She's got a really good sprint. It's fast. It can go across water, but like you hit like a snag. Like it doesn't even make sense sometimes. Like it looks like it's a smooth surface, and then you'll hit like a tiny little thing and wonder what you got stopped on. Like, am I gonna get stopped on this stuff? Nope. Get another ferret that didn't need to die. How goes your search? Secured the ingredients one desires, have you? Yeah, your frozen fucking meat. What manner of morsel is this? They call it chilled meat. Chilled meat, an apt name indeed. It is of fair quality, too. Still, we shall need a small fire to thaw it out. Fortunately, defrosting counts among the Supreme Cuisine Machine's functions. Sure seems to have no shortage of functions, huh? Ah, falsehoods. This device does not lack for missing functions. The ability to automatically gather ingredients for one, or automatically heat control, for that matter. One could go on. Many improvements still must one make to it the coming days. The heat control is the main thing, I think. We shall cease the idle talk here. The ingredients are prepared. One shall activate this device immediately. The heat control shall still be left in your hands, traveler. When will have to report your readiness once you're sufficiently prepared? Well, I've got Amber in the party, so I'm ready. Cool.
Let me scribe.
Fuck off. I was standing on that for a while, huh? Fuck off! Oh yeah, the enemies just go away. Hey, you want to take care of the fucking enemies that show up? I'm under heat control, not fucking bodyguard control. Christ. Doesn't help that the buttons are pretty non-responsive, too. Oh, fuck it.
Fate is upon you.
No! Aim at that thing. Boy, this sucks. Hey, your machine should maybe have automated turrets installed, apparently. Well, is the braised meat complete? Yeah, seems to be. A most wonderful flavor. One would have expected no less. Look at me putting out all the fires around it. I wonder if the torches being out contributed to them be getting colder faster. A most wonderful flavor. One would have expected no less of your supreme cuisine machine? 'Tis so. The completion of these 3 dishes have proved the reliability of one supreme cuisine machine. We have but to solve 2 issues of heat control and automatic retrieval of ingredients, and this machine shall truly have achieved all-in-one cooking. Ah yes, lest one forgets your braised meat recipe. With but one difference. This recipe involves the use of normal raw meat instead. One deems that it might be inconvenient for you to scale this frigid each time you wish to eat this meal. Ordinary meats shall serve in ordinary occasions. Am I about to freeze to death? So regardless, you have one's thanks for your aid in foraging for ingredients. To one's abode, one must now return and make further improvements for this device. Let us part here, then one call further succor. Perhaps one shall call upon you again. A measure of faith one has that you shall not decline should that time come. Most highly does one regard your abilities and trustworthiness after all. Yeah, I was freezing mid-goddamn cutscene. Is it too much to ask? To have the cutscene not kill me? So these are done, then. So the only thing I have left to do is explore this fucking area and do these battle challenges. Well, let's check out those recipes, I guess. This cooking area is much easier to get to. So let's see. We have the Oncidium Tofu, 70 to 100 stamina. Not bad if you're lacking in stamina. Lack of stamina. Braised meat increases all party members' physical damage, so it's a buff. 20 to 40%. Oh, it's not a number, it's a percentage. That's pretty damn good. Well, it depends on how high your attack is, I suppose. and rice pudding. Another stamina dish. I don't think I have a use for any of these. Maybe stamina at some point, but like, yeah, not feeling it really. Oh well, we completed the quest. We got rewards for the quests. I will start one thing up before stopping the stream. There is this quest.
There's a strange wanderer in your
Lawrence?
Honorary knight. Is something the matter?
So I'm looking for a stranger with an eye patch.
A stranger with an eye patch. Let me think. Oh yeah, I remember seeing someone like that. A blonde stranger dressed in unusual garb. He was wandering all over Mondstadt at first, which I found rather suspicious. So I decided to keep an eye on him for a while. I lost him pretty quickly. Still, I didn't think that this was such a huge matter that we needed our outrider to pursue him by air. As long as Master Jean is here, there's nothing to fear from some suspicious, unusual-looking person.
That might be true, but if it were up to Jean, she'd take this way more seriously.
That is true. But on the other hand, knowing that Master Jean may overreact to the situation is all the more reason to not tell her, no? Anyways, oh yeah, he was at Wagner's smithy for a while before I tried tailing him. He might have said something to Wagner. You should go ask him. Maybe he has more news about our stranger.
I have no idea what this quest is about. I just saw a name in the quest, and I was like, oh, it seems like it's character related. And there's voice acting, so yeah.
What? You need something?
So I'm looking for a stranger with an eye patch.
Here, I remember him. He showed up a few days ago asking to buy a bunch of forging materials. Can't say I've heard of any of the materials he mentioned, though. He then had a look at the weapons in my shop before leaving. I've heard that he can be found drinking at the Angel's Share. If the Knights of the Guild want to get hold of him, that's the only place to be.
The Angel's Share? Well, Master Diluc probably has his eye on that stranger too then. Anyway, let's go to the Angel's Share and have a look.
No wonder you're a master. Ask Charles about the stranger. I don't know who Charles is. Oh, I'm not holding sprint down right now. That was me tapping sprint. Characters currently involved in other quests. Oh, I have to advance this quest in order to do that one.
We have a few specials today at Angel Share. May the animal mark protect you.
Let's do this then. We get a sneak peek at what next stream is going to be like. It's going to be related to this quest. Alright, six-fingered Jose.
Hey, amigo.
Dropping shit upstairs. Cool.
Do you want to hear my latest composition? I put my whole heart into it, and also my soul. How about it, amigo?
Amiga. Who's the strongest fighter in Mondstadt?
Huh? The most macho in Mondstadt.
Yo!
She's a little girlie who wears red.
A girl dressed in red?
That's right. I found this out one day about half a month ago, when I went up to the Storm Bear Mountains looking for inspiration for my new song.
They're being extremely loud. They're banging shit around and dropping things. A lot of things. Okay.
Guess what happened?
What happened?
I witnessed the most powerful destructive force I have ever seen in my life. I'm telling you, it completely changed the whole landscape in that part of the mountains.
Holy moly!
I was hiding behind a bush and I saw this little girlie in red clothing running into the distance, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. But I don't know if anyone will believe me.
Now that you mention it, the idea of a tiny little girl wielding that much destructive power is a little far-fetched.
You want to know what I think? I think she has a treasure nobody else knows about. Maybe even the most powerful treasure in all of Mondstadt.
Did you say treasure? Did Paimon imagine that, or did you hear it too?
It's just a guess.
What the fuck?
Hey, amigo. Do you want to hear my latest composition?
Did this happen last time?
She's a little girlie who wears red. That's right. Guess what happened?
What happened?
I witnessed them. I'm telling you. I was hiding You want to know? Maybe even...
Did you say... Did Paimon
It's just a guess. I mean... No. It's a bard's razor-sharp intuition.
I don't buy it.
How can you say such a thing?
So, this girl, what's her name?
I do not know her name. I do not see her often in Mondstadt. Hey, I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me.
Doesn't sound like much to go on. But thanks for your intel.
Even if you are a close friend.
Charles.
What'll it be today?
Who's the strongest fighter in Mondstadt?
The strongest fighter? I don't pay much attention to that sort of thing.
Huh. Paimon thought bartenders had some kind of special information sources.
Just like they have an exclusive supplier of wine.
Exactly. That's what Paimon was getting at.
I have no involvement in any intelligence-gathering operation. But if you made me pick someone, it would be the Dark Knight hero.
Jesus Christ.
I've heard some stories about him. Apparently, he once rescued a city dweller from the Abyss Order.
There it is! The barman's top secret intelligence! Speaking of the Abyss Order, their minions are really stirring up trouble all over the place, aren't they?
Alright. So I could continue this quest, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do this other thing first. Oh. I can't. Hey.
Nope.
I'm almost done with the stream. They're banging around right now.
Oh, are they?
They're dropping shit.
Well, fuck them.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for disappearing, man.
Did you do the cat girls?
No, I'm doing some other one.
Okay.
Because I forgot that I still had the event quests, and I finished all the event quests.
Okay, so you did like the one with Cloud Retainer?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
That was an annoying one.
Yeah.
I didn't like how the buttons didn't work properly half the time.
Oh, really?
Like it took like a full 2 seconds for them to activate.
Oh, yeah, they're like, it's like a little delayed, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And when enemies are attacking, you kind of like, hey, how about you fucking activate when I tell you to activate? I'm trying to...
You caught that during the quest, but you could also use fire and ice attacks.
I was using water. They only said cryo, or they only said hydro and pyro, I think.
No, they did mention cryo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely spawn cryo energy or enemies to lower the heat on the pots.
Yeah.
There's this quest called Bowkeeper Dainsleaf
Okay.
that has voice acting. I think it's related to a character. I just don't know. But I'm having to do some of Klee's quest in order to
I'm doing some
have a person not be preoccupied.
Ah, yes, my favorite.
Want to join me?
Alcohol tolerance, to be precise. Want to join me? No. You seem to have had one too many. Oh, now you don't have voice acting.
We can't hold his liquor.
I can't hold his liquor. I'm feeling a tingle in my fingertips.
I think it's affecting me.
I think it's starting to affect me. Like, Paimon went away because I selected the wrong thing. Who's the strongest fighter in Mondstadt?
You want to know who I think the toughest fighter is? In my opinion, that would be the finest adventurer of them all, Stanley.
The fuck is Stanley?
Guildmaster Cyrus is up there with the toughest too, but only Stanley can take on the bloodthirsty beasts of the Mare Javari.
Bloodthirsty beasts of the Marjavari? Sounds terrifying. Do you think you'd be scared if you were faced with one of those?
I beat it to a pulp.
Yeah! Bam! Wham! Pow!
I don't know who Stanley is. Some, like, random fucking soldier? In fact... Ain't no Stanley here. Bruce?
Hi. Are you here to try Mondstadt's famous wine too?
You on the job? Sir? Sir?
The strongest fighter of them all? That would be Gene, obviously. Why? Grandmaster Jean is so strong. She can take out a ruin guard with just a few slashes of her sword. And she could wipe out the 3 Hilly-Trill tribes at Dada Upa Gorge all by herself. Otherwise, we wouldn't have such a carefree existence with nothing to do.
It's true that Jin makes people feel they're in safe hands. Meanwhile, this guy is drunk as a
Drunk as a skunk.
Patton was right about one thing.
Everyone has an opinion. Not just that, but some people's choice of candidate was just plain weird.
If everyone's got their own opinion and can't be persuaded...
Ah, playing bowling again, I see. Didn't know they installed a bowling alley upstairs. If anyone got their own opinion and can't be persuaded...
How are we ever gonna find out who Mondstadt's strongest fighter is? Eureka! Paimon's got it! Let's go see what Jean says. Bet the Knights have got an official ranking table for this kind of thing.
Do you think I'll be on there?
Guess it depends if they counted all your shenanigans or not. Don't worry, though. Paimon has full confidence in your abilities.
Okay, now can I talk to this man? Hello? Charles?
What will it be? Grape juice or apple cider?
Another day, another lack of alcoholic options.
Have you seen a blonde stranger who wears an eye patch around here by any chance?
That I have. He comes here every night. Just to drink, though. Doesn't order anything else. He even sometimes mixes his own drinks after he orders them. I don't know anything else about him, but from his selections and mixes, I'd say that he's quite the connoisseur.
And what's Master D-Luke's opinion?
Why, I just gave it to you. Quite the connoisseur.
Investigating everything as always. Guess that's D-Luke for you.
Yeah,
If you're looking
right?
for that gentleman,
They've been doing that for the past like 10-15 minutes.
yesterday, so he should be here today too. There's too many raucous patrons on the first floor, so if you want to wait, best to go to the second.
I'm nearly done with this stream anyway. It's more of a like, what the fuck are they doing right now? Also, for a character called Jose and says amiga and amigo, they sure don't sound Spanish. Or even Hispanic. They've got an English accent except when they say amiga. It's like when my mom says tortilla.
I was about to say that.
Tortilla. She's like, let's go out for Mexican food and have some tortilla soup. You don't need to say that. You don't need to say that way. Go to the second floor of the tavern and wait on the seat by the railing. Oh, cool. Read the thing. It's almost a meme that people read that thing before entering the tavern and talk to Six-Fingered Jose before leaving. I guarantee that it is. Suppose I should have read the quest thing before leaving anyway. Let's wait on the second floor. Oh, there he is.
The first red post I see when I type in his name is the six-finger Jose keeps blocking the doorway.
Oh, leaving, are you? Yeah, yeah. He's known for getting in the way.
It's fantastic.
I'm sure that missing poster is just for the outside as well.
Somebody actually commented exactly that.
Why is it so hard to enter and leave this place?
He's really here? Let's go downstairs and have a look.
Who is this man? Sir? Hi, I'm an adventurer with the Adventurers Guild. How do you do? I'm an honorary knight of Favonius.
Wow, he's got no intention of paying us any mind, huh?
So, I'm a traveler?
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling?
I'm looking for my lost relative.
Well, that's as good a reason as any. Sit down over there, then.
So, guess we've broken the ice. What a weird guy.
That little one beside you.
Emergency food.
That's not true, and you know it.
It's indeed a good thing to have someone accompany you on your travels. My name's Dainsleif. I suppose you have some business with me?
Well, I was hoping to invite you to adventure with us.
Sure.
Sure? Hi, I'm Chrono, and I'm here to talk to you about the Double A committee. AA. You know. I don't drink. Huh?
He was so cold just a moment before. Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
But I will require advance payment.
Payment, you say?
500 mora, and 3 answered questions.
Easy.
The 500 is a one-time
Also,
fee,
hi, Leaps.
And we'll settle the questions in a moment.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, now Paimon's got a really bad feeling. That kind of compensation can't be right.
Well, here's the 500 mora.
Ah, thank you. Now, as for my questions, I'd like you to answer them here and now.
Do I need to answer them all correctly?
The answer to a question says nothing about right and wrong, only about differences in attitude.
Who is he?
I only wish to know what your
I don't know.
choices are.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
You need only answer.
Well, all right then.
Question 1. The crisis Mondstadt faced was resolved by an alliance between yourself and that Animo Archon who calls himself Venti. Who, in your view, was the key to ending that crisis?
I'd say a combination of both of us, but my character would say, how did you know that Venti is...
I know everything that I should. Well, answer the question.
It was me.
Is that your answer? I see.
I did repel it.
Question number
He gave me the
2.
power of flight.
Rex Lapis, who has defended Liyue Harbor for millennia on end, used his gnosis to lay down a contract to end all contracts, of which the stipulations are still unknown.
Yes.
Who do you think will defend Liyue Harbor in the future, now that they've lost their deity?
Everyone.
So that's your answer? I see. Now for my final question. This world has people who gained visions, and those who did not. Which of the two do you think hold more importance in the eyes of the gods?
Visions are gifted to those they deem worthy, though.
So, this is your answer then? I understand. It seems that you're different from him.
What do you mean, him?
I'll take that 500 mora.
And now I also understand your views on this world. As we agreed, you may now commission me. That said, I only take commissions related to the Abyss Order. Like you, I am currently on a journey. You intend to find your sibling, while I wish to oppose the Abyss.
Well, I have met some Abyss mages in the past.
Ugh. Those creatures that serve the Abyss are the fangs and claws by which the Order spreads chaos in this world. I have come to Mondstadt this time while on the trail of an Abyss Herald.
An Abyss Herald?
An even more twisted abyssal being. One that commands the Abyss mages.
Come to think of it, since the Storm Terror incident ended, we haven't...
Oh, that's right! We've just been fighting against the Fatui and Liyue, who are human too! We haven't encountered the non-human Abyss Order at all!
There's some reason behind that, I'm afraid. It's possible that they may have been under orders to avoid your path.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Maybe they're looking for a better time to ambush us or something.
They won't defeat me.
Uh-huh. We're super duper strong.
That manner. It's just like his. Well then, let's go see for ourselves, shall we? According to the leads I have on hand, the Abyss Order has re-infiltrated the Temple of the Falcon. Let's meet up at the temple. Perhaps your questions about the Abyss will be answered there.
So the Abyss mages are chicken shit? Well, it depends on what level you are, right? Some of those mages can kick your ass if you're not at the appropriate level. Especially if they swarm you. I remember being in the mountain area, Dragonspire, and there's 3 mages. Of course, you're on a timer. And there's 3 mages, and they have a fucking elemental shield you gotta get through. And all the time you're freezing to death, so maybe that made that encounter difficult. So, never mind. Yeah, they're chicken shit. Damn it. You scared him away!
This abandoned temple does bear some marks of the Abyss. The Falcon of the West. Though it can soar in the wind, it ultimately does naught but hover under the light of the gods.
What are you talking about?
Hmm? Oh, it's nothing. Let's head inside.
Like your cape? Abyssal traces.
As you wish.
Start it up. Give me this man, please. Let me simp. There's not enough men.
The scent of the Abyss is getting stronger.
Oh, I can't use them.
Not far now.
I thought it would give me like a test run.
What the Abyss Heralds look like. Do they look something like the Abyss Mages?
Let's head further in first. If we do see that creature, that'll spare me the explanation either way.
Trying my best not to set off those things. So I think this is Amber's dungeon, but slightly recycled. Yes. I say slightly. Looks like it's fully.
Let me scribe.
I never really took a close look at it, but all these bombs have elemental slimes in them, and that's what's setting them off. Also, take a look at... Well, I guess like you can't. Next time I get experience, take a look at how much I have. Alright, y'all gotta go.
Dodge this! Cool it!
I think experience only comes up whenever I open a chest. I mean, if you're gonna auto-aim for that, I might as well hit it. So I have 34,861 out of like 7,000 something. I don't know how many levels I'm gonna go up when I finally decide to raise my world level.
You're just going to explode.
Huh?
You're just going to explode.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna go straight to 40.
Oh god.
At which point will it automatically upgrade, you know, go again? Or do I have to, I guess, just accept it from the things? Oh, I got my, super pack.
Decided by destiny.
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, they're dead. Sorry about the fire, Dainsloaf.
Abyss mages. Seems like that herald might have already left.
Could you tell me more about the Abyss Order? I like your cape.
The Abyss.
Jesus Christ, those people upstairs.
And it is also destruction. It is a morass of inconceivable madness that encroaches upon this world's very foundations. That is why even the Dragon of the East, a servant of a deity, was unable to resist its corrosive powers. And the creatures of the Abyss desire nothing less than the overthrow of a world ruled by the Archons.
You seem to know a lot about the Abyss, Dane.
Well, we do have some history.
Give me this massive edge lord.
That's as far as chit-chat goes. We should head to Wolvendom.
Hey!
Judging by the traces I'm following, their next appearance may be within the territory of that old wolf. Perhaps we may find our Abyss Herald there.
So, Edge. Nice chest. My cabbages! I'll take that cape too. Seth, no, that's too much edge! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get all the edge. What have you got there? A knife! No! Well, I guess we're going to Wolvendom. Yeah, here they're playing stuff upstairs, just banging on the ground. It's too bad my computer's not compatible for the RTX voice, like, noise cancellation and shit. That'd be so nice. But apparently you need like half a rocket ship in order to do it. Or just my graphics card is, I guess a 980 isn't enough. I need a 1080. Snowboarding. Just gonna run by these lads. Have fun with my clones. Well, if you're gonna follow me, fine. I'm just not gonna deal with that archer. I need to pick up Wolfhook while I'm here, because it's the only way to ascend Razor going forward. You need a ton of these. I think for his max ascension, you need like 300? Or maybe you need 300 total overall. Either way, you need a lot. Also, these new blue crystals are added, I guess, once you get to World Rank 3 or Adventure Rank 30.
Well, we're in Wolfendom now. Think Dane's waiting for us up ahead?
Maybe.
We should meet up with him quick, in case the wolves decide they don't like him.
I'm just gonna pick up the berries while I can. Just gonna get the glimmers that catch my eye, nothing more. Oops, this is not... Sir?
Lord of Wolvendom, great Wolf King of the North, sharp of fang and keen of claw, and yet dwelling here only.
You familiar with that wolf?
No, nor does it know me. I only know these things because a previous traveling companion of mine once wanted to hear its story. All right, let's go see if that Abyss Herald has stopped by here.
But where do we begin? Are you standing here because of these strange bonfires, Dane?
Indeed. See that? Floating above the flames? It's an abyssal spell. Knowing what I do of the Order's habits, they've probably left similar marks behind elsewhere. Let's have a look nearby.
I'll put that out.
Delve into destiny.
Guess we're running around these yellow circles.
Do you think that those monsters by the bonfire are under the Abyss Order's control? Looks kind of scary. Let's beat them up first.
Okay, you're dead.
Whew, that's that. Let's go check out that bonfire.
This one?
Looks like this bonfire's also got something to do with the Abyss.
Now I've got to...
Let me scrub. Steady as stone.
Come back.
Delve into destiny.
Just had a vendetta against those guys. Guess we're climbing this wall. Yep. This better not be the plot twist of the brother you've been looking for was taken to the past and now he's much older. No, because it's not necessarily the brother. You could have picked the brother in the beginning, it'd be your sister. And Daneslith wouldn't make sense for that. Unless there's a female Daneslith, I don't know. Probably not. His hair color's also a little different. I think he knows
Another one of those bonfire spells.
the main character's brother.
Looks like the Abyss
to me.
I want to heal.
Shadows of fate.
Well, now we're all healed up.
Scry the sky.
Did you like this again, man? Put it out.
Have you finished searching?
We found lots of signs of the Abyss Order.
I searched around these parts and found some signs myself. But they were left behind by Abyss mages, and there was no deeper abyssal power to them. It seems that even an Abyss Herald would not wish to make trouble with the Wolf King of the North. We should leave as well. If there's anything praiseworthy about that old wolf, it's his territorial nature.
But now we're out of leads. Are we going to have to give up?
No. There is one more place we can go. Let's get a move on then. I'll wait for you at Storm Terror's lair.
Yeah, I was saying that it's probably not him because there's no... Because you can pick the male character at the beginning and be on the search for the sister. Yeah, the brother, I think, is behind the Abyss Order ship, though. From, like, a tiny Marvel end cutscene from the first arc of this game. He's, like, looking over a cliff, and he's got a bunch of Abyss mages around him. And he's looking a little evil, a little sus.
I've heard about what happened to you during Mondstadt's crisis. When you came, this place was known as Storm Terror's lair.
He's probably corrupted just like Storm Terror was.
But I suppose that this place is more lair than Storm Terror at this point. In fact, if my memory serves, this ruin has had largely nothing to do with that dragon for a long time. The first time I laid eyes upon the ruins of Old Mondstadt, the Dragon of the East had yet to fall, much less come to nest in this place.
Huh? But Paimon remembers that Dvalin first got in trouble hundreds of years ago.
Don't think too much about it. Do you remember the light actuators that once sealed this ruin? If the Abyss Order is interested in this location, then they will not neglect those mechanisms. Let's go see what the situation is at those light actuators.
I don't know what kind of shit they're doing to be dropping stuff for a solid 40 minutes. But it's definitely annoying. Yeah, we got teleport over there. They've been dropping small things, heavy things for the past, like, half hour at least. Whoa! Oh, the camera angle took me away.
Monsters gathered over there.
Hey, everybody.
Freeze! Dodge this!
I must leave no stone unturned.
Oh, another one. Alright then.
Fate is upon you.
This moment will be frozen in time.
I'm sorry, were you trying to heal those people? Because they're dead now. Dickbag.
Oh, so in the end, we still couldn't find that Abyss Herald. Bummer.
It is quite a shame.
I wouldn't call not having to gaze upon such a creature a shame exactly. Still, I do believe that you will come across one eventually.
No, you're right. If it's a really powerful monster, it would be best to go around it.
How good it would be if all perils one encounters in their journeys could simply be solved by going around them.
Speaking from experience, are we?
Once upon a time, yes. I simply have experience from adventuring together with that traveling companion.
You know, Dane, you keep talking about that person this and that person that. Where are they now, anyway?
He no longer travels. I'm afraid that traveling can be too exhausting at times.
Oh, is that how it is? Well, why are you traveling alone then?
I still have some things left unfinished. Once they are done, I too will return home to rest.
Yep, and it's good to have a home to come back to, isn't it? We camp out a lot when we travel. Hey, once you find your sibling, we should find a place to stay too, shouldn't we? Mondstadt's Fisherman's Toast is pretty tasty, but
You
Lee's
recognize his
ramen
voice.
restaurant is great too.
Yuri Lowenthal.
Oh, it is?
Yes, I was like, I know his
There's good food.
There was no way for me to look it up in game because he's not a character yet. Getting a bit ahead of ourselves, I think.
Home. Well, it won't be too late to think
Oh,
about
for sure,
where you
yeah, it's
stay
him.
Once your journey reaches its end. While you're still traveling, you should...
I sensed something familiar on that cliff.
What's familiar?
I felt it for a moment the previous time we came here, too.
A familiar feeling, you say? It could be someone you know well, or perhaps a monster.
Could it be the Abyss?
Whichever it is, we should see it for ourselves, and thus see clearly. We can reach the top of that cliff from over there. Let's go.
Yes, but first...
Whoa, Dane moves really fast, doesn't he? Let's use that wind current nearby to catch up.
This was taunting me in the background. Yep. Boy, they're just like wrestling or something. I don't know.
Can you still sense that familiar feeling that you spoke of earlier?
It's nearby.
But it doesn't feel like there's anything around here. No monsters, no people, nothing.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything strange about this place. It doesn't look any different from the last time I was here.
Last time, you say?
My traveling companion brought me here on our previous journey.
So, Dane, what about you? What's your favorite place?
Me? I no longer remember. I merely followed my traveling companion around on that journey. That's all there was to it.
That line was re-recorded, I could tell.
Huh? A ruin guard's footprint. A ruin guard was wandering around here?
Big feet!
No peace to be found, even for a single dandelion.
Examine dandelion. Flashback! This is a cutscene I don't think the stream got to see. Or parts of it. I had to fight with some goddess that used cubes.
What's gotten into you? You were just spacing out.
This dandelion reminds me of...
Huh? You mean your brother? But how could that be? You only touched that dandelion for a second.
Yes, the moment I touched it.
Perhaps that dandelion bears some sort of scent that only you recognize. As for why, has it perhaps experienced something related to you?
You're saying some real confusing stuff. Paimon doesn't get it at all.
Regardless, I have to get to the bottom of it.
Do not rush. Vexation and anxiety are the enemy of rational thought. Your journey has only just begun, has it not? At least you now know that he is still on this world. At this time, the most important thing is the journey to find him itself.
I will find him.
Yes,
and I will kill him.
And this is something you must keep in mind as the meaning behind your journey. May you find your kin at the end of that journey. Well then, let us part ways here for now.
Huh? You're leaving? Already?
Only for now. Don't worry. We will meet again. After all, I did take 500 mora and those 3 answers you gave me.
You better be a guaranteed character later on, Dainsleif. You took my money! The gears of destiny. Well, that's that quest. So I have this one that requires more exploration in Liyue. This is gonna level my world up. These are my dailies. This is Klee's quest. What's this one? Oh, this is a Archon quest? That wasn't there before. You hear from Ganyu and Land that the treasure hoarders of Mondstadt and Liyue have banded together and plan to get involved in some ruins associated with the Abyss Order. Fearing the chaos that the treasure hoarders might cause through their involvement, you take up the commission and investigate. This seems to be the story again. This was not here before. So it seems I needed to do that Dainsleif quest to sort of further the story. But before I do that, next time I stream, I'm going to start going through character quests. I meant to do it this time, but I completely forgot about the fucking event shit that was going on. But I'm basically done with the story stuff for that, so we good. So that's it. I'm going to stop streaming. We're going for 2 hours, 45 minutes. Decent chunk of a stream. And we got some story here. We got the event story. We got some actual story. Got a little bit of combat here and there. Lots of talking. So we got some stuff done. Off stream is going to be grindy stuff. But until next time, thanks for coming. Bye-bye.